way. I've gone the other way. I'm like, which way does it come up? That's it, isn't it? Portrait then.
Yeah, I'm just portrait. That is a bit of a nightmare, that.
Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Is it a bit echoey?
I don't know, it sounds all right to me.
Yeah, I just need to find some. I'm back on my phone. I can't do it on the laptop.
Maybe you can't do it on the laptop then. Maybe it's a thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. It's all new to me, so I'm having quite a few teething issues myself.
Well, don't worry about it. You'll soon figure it out, won't you?
Yeah, that's it, mate.
I like that. I like that map you've got there. That's cool, isn't it? Behind your head.
Yeah, I got that from like a bar place. They sell all bar stuff.
Is it lit up? Is the lights in it, or is that just like?
It's just kind of like the painting itself. But yeah, it's that effect where it's like night time and it's all lit up.
That's proper cool, mate.
Yeah, so I got that, and I got my lion.
Hello, lion. What's it called?
Leon the Lion.
Oh yeah, of course. There you go. Yeah.
And then me little books.
Let me see. What have you got? Oh, read that. What's the other one there? The Key to Living the Law of Attraction. No, but I'll live that. I'll read that. I've read some books by Jack Cranfield, though.
Have you read that one?
No.
It's really good, that one, because it has quotes on every page. So you can kind of just open it daily.
Yeah.
And you'll have dead good quotes on there.
Yeah, here's one for you. Oh, so it's like a quote book. If you wanna go a bit fucking nuts. Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, Joe Dispenza.
Ah, nice. Yeah, I've not seen that one.
Mad, mate, mad, honestly. And similar to manifesting and all that. But from actually he's I think he's a chiropractic doctor, but he specializes in the brain and let me see, the wiring of your habits and stuff like that, and how they become your habits. And he's quite spiritual as well. After reading this book, I've done quite a lot of spiritual work. And the other one is, mate, I love this book. You're making me feel drunk.
Sorry, mate. I'm trying to.
I feel like I'm drunk.
Sorry, I'm trying to just get. I'm all
My dog's trying to get in. She thinks there's someone in the room with me. This one, have you read this?
No, I've not seen that.
Oh, it's so good, mate. So good. It's basically how we came to be, apparently. Like, because no one has a fucking clue, really, do they? But it's because everything's a theory, right? But it's cool, you know. And yeah, that's a good book to read. And I read another one called The Science of the Inadequate Modern Male. No, it was called Manthropology. The Science of the Inadequate Modern Male. Nice. Which is cool, which basically, you know, I think the gist of the book was that agriculture made us weak, you know, the agricultural revolution, when we stopped hunting animals and hunter-gathering and stuff, and then was just like, you know what, when we got a bit too clever and was just like, let's just put a fence around these things, we don't have to run after them anymore. So, and it talks about even poetry and rap and stuff like that, you know, it links people who can, people could recite stuff for like 24 hours and they'd stand in front of people and recite stuff for 24 hours and stuff, you know, and they compare it to today's rap music and what have you, and poetry. It's brilliant. But, and there was something in there that was like, so Usain Bolt ran 9 point whatever seconds it was, yeah? Just under 10 seconds. But they found footprints in the in wherever the Serengeti or whatever, and by calculation of the stride length and the actual total distance, they were able to work out that this person was probably running at about 28 miles per hour or something along them lines, 27, 28, which would have put him not far behind today, like Usain Bolt and that. But what was even more fascinating in the book is that somebody was running at a massive pace. Like, I can't say the actual numbers, but they only had one leg, and they knew this because it was a footprint, then a stump, then a footprint, then a stump. And so they calculated that and said, like, we were so much stronger and so much fitter and so much more athletic before the agricultural revolution. It's mental, mate.
Yeah, I never knew. I didn't know you was into that kind of stuff. That it ties in with a lot of stuff that I study. I like to study space and physics and stuff like that.
Well, you love that book, and you love Joe Dispenza and, you know, and all that stuff. Then definitely.
Yeah, yeah. No, I do. I love listening to that kind of stuff. It's crazy because I can't remember the exact digit, but every 600,000 years or whatever it is, there's scientific evidence now that there's been major impacts to the planets.
Yeah.
Of extinctions and stuff like that, where you can see that everything's just completely changed and started again.
Yeah.
So
and that could happen again and again and again.
Well, we're at that time now.
Yeah.
We're at that
And
time.
you know what? Do you know what this just says to you then? Like, you know, when you get stressed out about stuff and all that, I take great solace in the fact that I'll die one day, and none of this will fucking matter. Do you know what I mean? And I'll just be like, sweet. So just knowing that, you know, if there is something else and somewhere else to go, and it's this thing, and it's so much better than this, and we're just here to learn lessons and carry that on to the next place. You know, having learned that lesson, then if that lesson is, you know, spirituality and stuff like that, then this is why I'm into it now. You know, I'm just trying to learn more about myself, you know, and what makes me tick. Like, for instance, a practice I did this morning, just out walking with the dog, was and you know what, we're on a mobile phone now, like talking about stuff, but on the mobile phone, and this is, I hate this thing, but I you know, I like the fact that we can talk and get messages like this out, but my phone in my pocket, and so I decided this morning I was going to just count how many times it popped into my head to put my hand in my pocket and grab my phone, right?
Yeah.
And I was going to stop myself every time I did it and count it. So I do little weird things like this, but 7 times, you know, I wanted to grab hold of it and pick it up. And then one of the times, maybe on the 4th time, I was like, there it is again. That thought, I want to grab my phone out of my pocket. The fuck made me think that thought? Nothing other than flipping dopamine hits like that you're so used to getting from your phone all the time. Like, and what made me think, and then ping on one of them, I get a message. Now I'm like, this is next level. Like, before I was just thinking and then stopping myself from doing it. And, you know, and I'm doing this all while I'm walking the dog. I'm trying to be present with the dog and look at my surroundings and stuff.
Yeah.
And then the ping happened, and I was like, that could be someone I need to speak to. That could be this person, or that could be that person. This could be important. And then I had this internal conversation, thinking, what's that fucking important that I need to, you know, answer it right now and look at it right now. You know, what's important is me being right here, right now, with my dog, enjoying this walk. And I counted 7 times when that happened on a 25, 30-minute walk, you know. Mad.
You know what? Honestly, you're the first person I've ever spoke to that actually does that. And I think it's important that you understand how your mind is working and to understand your thought process so you can further control it.
Yeah.
And that's a very important part of life. And I feel like most people who have got issues, it pretty much sums it up. If you can master that, you can master the majority of things in life.
Yeah, if you can just be the observer of your thoughts, like, and not be the victim of your thoughts, you know. Because I always say this, like, and this is another practice now with the mobile phone, but before it was a practice, and this is how it all started. Like, I used to, like, lose my shit in the car, you know, and people would pull up, and just a million embarrassing situations whereby this didn't need to happen. Do you know what I mean? So, I used to practice whenever someone cut me up, or whenever you don't get your little wave, you know, when you let someone out and they just fucking, and you're like, and your chimpanzee brain activates and you just want to go flipping beast mode and kick the shit out of someone. I used to pull myself on it. So I can't remember why this happened. I read a book at some point years ago, and I think it happens naturally with age as well, because there's still some people, a lot of people who were flipping tough or whatever when they were younger. They proper mellow later on in life, or you just a mellowness comes about, and maybe because they've seen so many mad things happen and stuff like that. Eventually, you're mellow and you become like this. But road rage is the one I used to do it with all the time. So people would cut me up, and or whatever, and I'd want to like on the horn, yeah, and I'd be like, the second you think about what you're feeling, is the second it is no longer a feeling anymore. You took over, you won straight away because you're thinking about what you're feeling. So it's no longer a feeling. You can't actively feel that feeling when you're thinking about it. So you're like, what is that I'm feeling? I'm feeling anger. Why am I feeling anger? Because this guy just cut me up. What's going to happen if we pull up? What if he's got a gun? What if he's got a knife? I don't give a shit. What if I go to punch him and he shoots me in the chest and I'm dead? So, and then this would always be a practice all the time, like every time it happened. And then, but what happened was, I used to enjoy it. Like I used to enjoy that. There's the ego again. I used to enjoy that they got mad and I didn't. You know what I mean? I'd be like,
yeah,
and they fucking fuming.
It goes back to the famous saying, "It takes to walk away."
Yeah, exactly. And
yeah.
Well, there's nothing good that comes from two people who are both in flipping chimpanzee mode, pulling up to have an argument. There's nothing good that comes from it, is there? And you're probably going to cause a traffic jam for everyone else, and then probably you get back in your car, you've got a bust nose or blood on your knuckles, and you just feel like a bit of a muppet. And then you try and justify it to other people why you did that.
To me, I believe it's, and I've experienced it myself, but and I say this about myself as well, but I think it's down to things like ego and reputation and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And when you spirit grow and evolve in that person, you get past all that and you see it from a different light.
Yeah, definitely.
You start to think about how other people feel and think, and
exactly. Why is that person so angry? Maybe his mother died yesterday. And you're just about to punch his fucking head in. And his mum died yesterday, or maybe something really bad might have happened to that person. And even sometimes, half the time, like it's some dickhead flying. When they overtake you on a flipping busy road, Halifax Road, when you get someone overtaking you on there in traffic, like speeding in a flipping, always an AMG A3 45, the A3 45, right? AMG, I'm right? Yeah. Always one of them, yeah? When you get one of them overtaking you, that's a different story because they're being a bellend. But when someone overtakes you, I just think, if you're now, I think I don't actually even acknowledge it now. They just overtake me, and that's that. Who cares, unless they go like this or something when they overtake, which if they need to be somewhere quicker than me, there might be a reason for that. So I don't care,
Yes.
And letting go of that, just oh man, it's just what's the word? It's just inner peace, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that is the key, I think, to inner peace.
Definitely, yeah, it definitely is. So, do you do anything with your fitness? And obviously, you've got quite a lot of customers with your fitness. Do you do any life coaching stuff? Because you're right up there with the best of the best in my eyes.
Well, you know what? I did try introducing it into my online stuff, but it didn't take a hold really. I would have to I even did start doing a life coaching course and what have you, but I never actually finished it, you know. But I feel that part of it, I don't know what life coaching is really. It's a weird one, you know.
Yeah, and not a lot of people. There's not a lot. The majority of people will just still themselves as well. Like they're not going to go and tell the friend or a doctor. Never mind yourself.
Yeah, I feel like all my sessions are therapy sessions, you know, and which is probably why I've had so many clients. I've been doing this for uh, 20 years or something like that. Maybe it's 20 years now, maybe. I don't know how old I am now. 44. And I started when I was 22, I think. So 22 years, do you know what I mean? And I've had many different clients, like so many different clients, like from barristers, you know, solicitors, judges, flipping celebrities, sports people, like high profile clients, to flipping Betty from the Woolpack, and just, you know, just a broad spectrum of people. And I think over that time, what I've come to realize is the one big thing. No one has a fucking clue what they're doing, and that makes me feel like, you know, it makes me feel not good, but it makes me feel like I'm all right doing what I'm doing. I should
Yeah,
just follow my heart and um, do the thing that makes me feel good. And always when I've done that, always the money has followed, and the whatever you call success or whatever has followed as a result of just following my heart. You know where my heart lies. But
yeah,
you know, you can have some multi-millionaires, you know, in and be training them, and that, and they can be having exactly the same problems that John
yeah,
is having with his wife, um, from the flipping air and ends, and you're like,
yeah,
but you would think that this person was all flipping
yeah,
almighty and they had it all figured out and stuff, and
yeah.
you're like, it's
But
fucked you.
it's John from the Urban Hounds that needs to realise, and what doesn't help that is social media, because these millionaires that are feeling the same, they'll portray their life.
Yeah, some, you know, because that might be their modus operandum in terms of how they get customers and clients and stuff like that. You see it now, drive a Bugatti, sell a course, you know what I mean, for 10 grand, and then, you know, people are jumping on that, and then they get rich off the back of it. And it's like it's almost like a multi-level marketing scheme. Like, here's what you do. Get all this information. But fair play to them, you know. Happy days, crack on and make your money that way. You know, as long as you're putting out good stuff to people. Um, people buy from people, don't they? At the end of the day. So when you see after these courses and stuff that go on, is that what we're talking about? Just went off
Yeah,
on one. Then.
just kind of rolling with it and just keep
I didn't even know I lost myself there because I was just talking a bit too
following
fast.
on from yourself. But what it's so when I asked you about the life coaching, just because I think you'd be great at it, and I can tell you've got that. But
Yeah,
from what you've just said and your client base, maybe that's what's made you so successful is being that life coach as well as the fitness coach, but not actually putting the label on it.
exactly that.
But
Exactly that. You know, I have some people who come to me before and after sessions and just burst into tears, and I've said, do you fancy a brew?
yeah,
Like, let's go and have a coffee. Let's have a sit down and have a chat and what have you. You know, and I feel like my whole purpose on earth is just to leave other people feeling good, you know.
yeah,
And the weirdest thing is, after 20 odd years of leaving other people feeling good, like, I feel like it makes me feel good as well. And so I had this conversation with someone the other day, like, oh, I've just had a client in a proper mood over, but that's a challenge to me. Like, I've got to ask the right questions and get the right conversation going during this 1 hour that I'm with this person, and then dig a little bit. I try not to pry, but I always know, like I'm intuitive like that I can make them feel better and leave the session having feeling like for instance, one of my clients the other day was feeling down about work and stuff like that, and we had a good chat. This is 7 o'clock in the morning, mate, right? And I can have a giggle with this guy, and you know, we've had the session now, we've had some proper deep chats and what have you. And at the end of the session, I give him a hug, like, and I said, you know what? He goes, sorry for that. I said, no, but you know, you've made me feel good that I've made you feel good. And then I went out to his car and it was covered in dust, and I wrote cockwomble on the back of his car, right? So not only have I made him feel good, when he comes out, he's gonna have a little bit of a giggle as to that being on the back of his car. Still, it's important to be a child, you know, your whole life. And I think, but yeah, I mean, this is the greatest part of my work, which is why I've tried other things in the past. I was a manager of a health club and all that, and I've tried other avenues, thinking that was the right thing because that's what society told me I needed to do. I'm a PT. I work in the gym. I should become the duty manager. I should become the general manager. I should become the fitness manager. And I went down that road for a little while, but it just took me away from that contact with people, and that's what I really needed, and that's still what I really need. So sometimes people are like, "Oh, you're not that." You know, people wouldn't say that about me, but sometimes maybe, "Oh, don't be antisocial." I say, "I'm not antisocial. Like, you know, I'm seeing 5 or 6 people a day, and I'm having full blown life conversations with them. So this is not antisocial. It's you know, and it's what I love to do."
Yeah.
The life coaching thing, like I could charge extra for and all that, but it's just chat during a session, in it, for me. So
Yeah.
maybe I'm too cheap, but I don't really care. I just enjoy what I do.
Yeah, that's it. And it's good that you make you feel good as well. I mean, obviously not in this line of work, but other people like to work, or maybe like a therapist who's listening to these problems all the time.
Yeah,
Different clients coming in, and then they can feel depleted and exhausted from that, and it's actually them that needs the therapy now, kind of thing.
yeah.
So
But do they need the therapy, or do they need to work on themselves? Because you know, people
that,
are like, "Oh, I need therapy after being with that client." Blah blah blah. I don't. I feel good because I made them feel good, and I think the energy just shares together. Like for instance, my missus, she's quite intuitive and in tune, and she can sometimes do a massage, like, and make that person feel amazing, but come home exhausted because she just said she felt like, you know, negative energy and whatever. It zapped her completely, you know.
but
She
that
does.
is, I do truly believe in all that. I believe that everything we are is energy and frequency.
Of course it is, because you're basically just atoms and molecules, right? At
Yeah,
the end of the day.
I said that on one of my videos the other day on this channel, that you have to be very, very careful who you surround yourself with,
Yeah.
because you could be on the right path and you've got your goals and you've got that mindset, positive thoughts, and you're with somebody who's going to put you down for that and give you negative comments, and you're going
You feel that shit straight away, though, mate.
to,
You
oh,
know, I'm not like you're quite. How old are you? You're young, right? And you're feeling this shit now. Oh yeah, you're not that young, are you?
no.
So but you start recognizing it straight away, and you feel it, and you distance, like, you know,
It was about
because
3 years ago, about 30-year-old, when I started reading the law of attraction at about 28, 29.
yeah,
And started to really manifest it, think about my thought processes. Then I set up my own business, and then I
yeah.
started people out that have been in my life 20 years, 30, 20.
So that book you've got there, the rich one, I forget what
That's
it's called.
that's one for me. That the secret to living the law of
But
attraction.
no, but the other one, right, was unbelievable. Like a flipping. No,
I've
not that one. No.
not actually read this one yet. Napoleon Hill.
Right, it's going to blow your fucking mind then, right? It's going to blow your head off, because he actually says in there, right, that none of this work in your head that you're talking about starts until the age of around 33, 34, 35. And I was like, fuck off. That's exactly when I started reaching to find out more about me and what have you. When you read it, you'll know what I'm talking about now, because I was like, no, how's this guy? Because in the beginning, it's all about procreation, yeah, and it's just the whole drive is all about sex and making more people, right? And then as things start slowing down, you start thinking, all right, and this could be construed as what people call a midlife crisis or whatever. You start thinking more about stuff, and then it switches more from sex and procreation to legacy. And how are you gonna leave your mark on this world? How are you gonna how will people remember you at the end of the day? Because so that you like that book because of that.
Yeah. Well, I'm not quite at that stage yet because I see it a bit different. I spent that much of me teenager to late 20s. I spent all that time trying to make it for myself, and I wanted to be for the wrong reasons. To where now, years on, old, I don't want to be remembered. I want to be forgotten. I want everyone from my past life to forget about me, so I can continue and do my thing, kind of.
Yeah. But you know what? Those people serve a purpose in your life all the way through your life to make you who you are
Yeah,
today. So you should still just be grateful for having those people in your life, and that goes just back to practicing gratitude from the person that left a fucking sovereign imprint on my head here, with a punch, that made me think maybe I should learn how to defend myself a little bit, which
yeah,
then led me on the biggest martial arts path of my whole life. To representing England in kickboxing and fucking being selected for the England Thai boxing team and stuff like that. I'm grateful for that person. Do you know what I'm saying? It's fucking mad, isn't it? I'm grateful for that sovereign dent on my head.
I do believe everything happens for a reason,
Of
almost,
course.
where
No,
it's already decided to a certain extent, but we can manipulate that along the way. We can
or
put
is the
this,
thousands of these possibilities
yeah,
happening right now as we speak, and are we just a magnet for attracting one of those, like The Secret? Are we just, and manifesting and stuff? Are
yeah.
we just?
And that, if you go down the wrong path and you go back to the pub drinking every night or every weekend, 3 o'clock in the morning, the more you go down that path, the more you're going to stay down that path because you're going to surround yourself with that type of people.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to stay on that positive path now and successful business, all that kind of good stuff. We've got the acting going on now. I just want to.
Mate, I was thinking about the acting thing the other day, and one of the things that Anna and me joke about is before I go to any acting job or anything, me and the missus have a chat and what have you, and she says, "Yeah, but," and the one question is, before I leave the door, yeah, can you even fucking act, right? And I go, well, we don't fucking know unless we try, do we? And then I go to these things, and I'm still not sure, but I was thinking about, like, because I think a lot, right? And I was thinking about my life as a whole, right? Right back to being a kid and playing the fairy godmother in the second year of high school, in my sister's bridesmaid dress, in front of the whole class. Even now, when I'm thinking about that, thinking about the choir and singing when I was in primary school,
Yeah,
to then playing an instrument and being like the second trombonist, singing at a wedding, choir, on the stage as fairy godmother, winning the karaoke contest, going on to kickboxing in front of crowds, in front of audiences. I feel like it's all now. This fucking blows my mind, mate. Honest to God, like.
Well, to me,
when I got goosebumps thinking about it.
When you say like that, you've always been a performer.
Always been a performer, I think, class clown. And to reaching out and fitness content and boxing content and just I don't maybe like maybe my inner light is well, it always has been to make other people feel anything.
Yeah.
And I think with acting, I think you'd be able to make people feel everything, and how fucking mad is that?
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
the film we've just done, the realm thing we've just done, yeah.
I just thought about that in my head, that the kind of emotional stuff.
Yeah, because obviously I was like, who's playing this Legion fella, and then Warren said, I still don't know who it is at the moment, but then the director said, oh, he's at the house having a show, and then he turns up, and I thought, I know this guy, and then I was so nervous, like. And I practiced my lines, but I practiced my lines and I hadn't got the lines in context of what was happening, And then in that scene with me and him at the back there, in that hut and what have you, he was like, listen, this is don't relax a little bit. This is a really difficult scene for you to be talking about as a Viking. Vikings don't talk about this stuff, I won't say anymore because it would probably give things away, but it was a really emotional scene and he really helped me tap into it. And those questions when the missus says, yeah, but can you even fucking act, right? I feel like I felt so proud of that scene. I think I might be able to do this. I think I can do this because I've been doing it all my life and maybe this is what I was supposed to do anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
Mad.
That goes back to who you was around. Like he's lifted you, and he's helped you evolve in that situation.
100%.
That's people you want to be.
Always, and he probably would have had the same. He would have had this happen to him at some point. He would have been questioning whether this is the right thing to do. Now I'm flying back to England. It's cost me a bit. I'm staying in hotels. I'm doing this. I'm leaving the missus. I'm leaving the dog.
Yeah.
But even she believes it. She probably believes it a little bit more than I do.
Yeah.
So, and the people around me believe it, and so it's up to me to push it and try and not try, just make it a thing. You know what I mean? It's happening. But I live it. Read this book, mate. Read this book and live it like it already is.
Yeah, that's it.
And the maddest thing is, it already is because in my head I'm trying to manifest red carpet events and shaking hands with people and having the paps, taking pictures and stuff like that. Well, it's all happening. It's actually a thing. It's already happened. I've been on the red carpet, and so maybe I should try and manifest something else in my head.
That's it, though, isn't it? You picture it that much until it's.
You picture it that much until it is. It already is. Until because your body and your brain doesn't decipher what's real and what's not. Because you can think about this. You can think about a time that made you laugh, right? What happens? You smile, yeah, and you feel that. You can think about the time that made you really sad, and you can feel sad. You can think about the time you felt sick, and you feel sick. So if you think about stuff and it causes an emotion, then you can think about the good stuff, and that be real in your body as well.
Awesome. Yeah. Agree with that.
Mad.
I don't know how long you've got, mate. You want to get to.
Mate, I'm all right. I can chat for England. We can keep going, mate. Don't worry.
8:15 your time, isn't it? Now.
I can't see the clock on here or anything. Someone messaged something there, but it's gone. I don't know where it is.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. Yes, slightly unprepared. I'll have a look at it later. I don't want to rude, but yeah, slightly unprepared. I'm not sure why I can't set it up on the MacBook, but that's all new to me because I've just changed from HP laptop to Mac. So that's a massive change. Thinking about changing my phone from recording to the camera, what you've got, the Sony NV.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just I'm still learning.
It's funny when you mention that. I thought about a time when I was trying to move to Los Angeles and I had a job over there with Tony Jeffries and we was setting it up and I remember for some reason I was angry at Apple and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go with Samsung, right? So because I was being a bit of a rebel in that, and at the time a few people were like, yeah, get with Samsung. Anyway, I get a Samsung phone. And I fly to LA, and not one person's got a Samsung phone, and I cannot communicate with anyone because I've not got iMessage. I was like, what a big fucking mistake that was. As soon as I came back to England, I was a slave to Apple again, you know?
Nice. I really like it. It's just getting used to it.
Yeah.
I wish I'd have gone MacBook on my laptop when I originally set up.
You know what? They don't last long though, mate. Like I've got one in there. It's broke. It needed a new motherboard or whatever. You know.
Wow.
Yeah. So if you're prepared to like put $1,000 aside every 3 years for one, you're all right. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. To be honest, there was no up with my other one. It just started running really slow because I've obviously stuff on it.
Yeah.
But there's no worse when you come home from work and you've got to go in the office and send reports, a couple of invoices, a couple of emails. Sometimes it takes 10 minutes to look at emails.
Yeah.
It's just a nightmare. So yeah, I had to change. Then it was a bit echoey in here, so I got the big mic, which just goes on the laptop, and then I've got that one for my phone. I don't know if I'd be able to use my Studio Beats headphones like you are.
I don't know what the sound sounds like because I can't hear it, but I can hear you perfectly clear. And these are just some flipping helicopter pilot. I don't even know if I go like this. Tell me if you can hear it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's
Oh well, I had no idea that was working because someone said it's not even working. They couldn't hear me the other day. But you look a bit of a flipping nugget with it down there. Like a helicopter pilot.
fantastic. Yeah. So I'm back down in London now at the end of the month. 20
Happy days.
I'm thinking about flying down on the Friday. Yeah.
I would, mate. I would fly down because that drive's minging, right?
Yeah, it's nasty. Yeah, very nasty.
It's long.
It's literally an hour away, an hour on flight. So what? 2 hours? Probably get away with an hour and a half at the airport, an hour and a half earlier. So
Yeah.
2.5, 3 hours. It's half the time.
Yeah, it makes sense, mate, and it just frees you up. And you know what? You can have a couple of podcasts or whatever, can't you? And a film, download a film or whatever, and then by the time you literally go up and you come down again when you fly down there anyway.
Yeah. But yeah, the reason I didn't want to ask you too many questions or prepare anything is because I'd like to save that because obviously I want to go into podcasting with this channel.
Yeah.
Be nice to maybe next time we meet if we're going on for a backstory on that one in London, or if we'll end up meeting up for some reason in the
definitely.
It'd be nice to save it for then. I can bring the studio with me and we can have an hour or two somewhere.
It was can you hear my dog?
Yes.
Barking. I saw someone message on the first one and I couldn't log on to it. It was your pal DJ Audits. He wrote on here, did you see?
Oh, I missed it.
Oh, did you not? Did you miss it? Yeah. He wrote, how are you, mate? Or something.
Did he?
Yeah, he was jumping on your live trying to put it on you or what?
You know what? He's right. Like, I was a fan of his and I watched 6 months every single day and I really liked him. And then it was the way he acted one day when he was out with another auditor. And I'm all for, you know, I don't want no trouble at this point in my life. I don't want any trouble, but I will bully a bully all day, every day. And I feel like he was a bit of a bully, so I put my opinions across. At first, a lot of people didn't like that, but it is what it is. I'm entitled to my opinion. I'm not trying to cause. It's like there's a lot of auditing channels out there, like frauditors, so they'll all make content on the auditors and call them and stuff and expose personal details. I just want to tell them they're wrong in what they're doing and they should think about how they're making someone else.
Yeah. Because even the whole thing is just bad karma, isn't it? You know what I mean?
Of course it is.
I found it kind of weird anyway. I was dude, just rocking up to your place of work and that, and then just filming it, and then going, "Yep, stay away from me, stay away from me, no, stay away from me." I'm like, "What? You just turned up there with a drone and started flying around the business side." But the more like the ones I've seen, it might not even be him, but the ones I've seen, they're always like provoking a little bit, you know. Like poking with the stick, trying to get a reaction because that's what get hits and stuff like that, and that's what's wrong with the fucking world. I think you know it's too many people just trying to get hits. Like you got that kid who goes up to people and goes, "Oh yeah," like I laugh, I find it funny, but if you're in my ear, I bite your fucking nose off. You know what I mean? Like, but the maddest thing about that, right, is I'd fucking chop his nose off and he'd be on the floor like, "Oh yeah," and no, I'd feel bad, and he'd get fucking 5 million hits or something, and end up wadded. That's the weirdness of the world, right? So just fucking let people be in it. You know what I mean?
Mention that on my channel, like that's half the problem is the viewers that enjoy it.
Yeah.
And at that point, you like the West trying to change the world. It ain't going to happen. Like
no, of course not. Of course.
So you're fighting a losing battle.
But I mean, I see it so much here in Marbella. Like people are just like flipping hungry for attention, you know, and they're hungry for attention from out there. You know, if they just spent a bit of time in here, you know, and detached from it a little bit, they'd see how fucking ridiculous it is and how funny it is, you know. Oh man, I see some mad shit. I went in the gym this morning, but you couldn't move for camera equipment, right? I'm all for it because I take the camera equipment in there, but I go in on Sunday morning early and film whatever I need to film, you know. But I feel like there are people out there that hate it and will walk past someone's camera on purpose. There are people out there who are like, you went in front of my camera, and it's just like, oh god, get on with it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Meanwhile, I'm just over here like laughing at all of it, like it's because it's funny.
Your little crazy art videos and your TikToks.
Yeah, exactly.
Good content, though, mate. All good content in it. It's fun.
I could care less. Like I've spent a lot of time, like maybe, since Instagram started, I've spent a lot of time building for someone to come along and gift me 500 followers, right? And then I'm like, oh, I got 500 new followers. Where are they from? And then to see that, and then 2 weeks later, then they asked me for some money. Like, oh, I gifted you 500 followers. I'm like, they're not even real. Like, they're not even real people. You've ruined my fucking algorithm by gifting me these 500 followers. Nice one. Take them back. They take them back. That flags the algorithm up. Next thing, you're not getting any views on your story and all that. I just, like, I appreciate the work that, like, my mate Tony, like, Jeffries, his content's fire, right? And he's transformed his YouTube into Spanish. He's transformed his YouTube into he's working on Chinese and he's just clued up to the max. He's got a full team of people around him that do it. He'll be earning hundreds of thousands a year from YouTube now. YouTube flew him to their headquarters to teach boxing there. Like that's mind blowing, isn't it? I appreciate it, but at the same time, I can't I can't go down that road for myself, even though I have got to quite a good level with it. But I just don't want to. I don't want to chase that. You know.
Yeah,
I want to chase the other thing. And
I'm very obsessed with Instagram posting, and I got a lot of freebies for it as well. To which I just don't. The gym that I was at, Mickey's gym, you know Mickey.
yeah.
So just like boxing bars and gloves and pads and t-shirts and stuff like that, and just for literally saying and putting them on my story or putting a post on about them.
Yeah, that's cool.
Players boxing, geezers boxing, they're all sending me stuff, which were good, but it's almost like a full-time job as well.
Yeah.
Which obviously it's a bit different for you because it's incorporated in your business. It's part of. But
well, for you, it's completely separate, isn't it? So it's another job on top of the job.
Production business to which I pages for that, and that's a whole another avenue. So everything aside from my business, personal and hobbies. So this is all personal and hobbies for me.
Yeah.
Which I've got the opportunity to fund from having a decent company that I've grown. But it's one of them. I do struggle with it. I get obsessed with it quite easy as well.
Yeah.
But I get messages.
Mosquito, you got to get them where you find them.
Mr. Miyagi style then.
Yeah, chopstick.
Yeah. So yeah, I stopped posting for a while because I had a lot of people messaging me, and I almost felt like I was making people feel shit by me posting that I'm back in the gym for the second time, or I've just with a pro boxer, or whatever it may be. I've done sauna and steam room and training and swimming, and I come out and I'll do a little video, and then 2 or 3 people will message you, and I feel like I'm putting these people down. And then you've got to spend 10, 15 minutes.
But you see, it's on them, not you, because there'll be some people out there that see that and go, you know what, I'm going to fucking do that today. Because there is a poem by Marianne Williamson, and it sums what you just said up there. Like, our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. And then it goes on to talk about. I've got to find this poem. You should drop this poem in afterwards. But it talks about the fact that I can't remember the exact words, but there is nothing enlightened by shrinking so that other people might not feel small around you. You know, because it's not in just one of us, it is in all of us, right? Collectively. So by letting your own light shine, you subconsciously or consciously give other people the permission to do the same. Basically, you know, let what it is that you do shine, because if people will be inspired by that and not, you know, not feel inferior to that, you know?
Yeah.
Check that poem out, it's good.
Yeah, will do, definitely, yeah. But yeah, I did struggle with that. And to be honest, I still kind of do a bit. Like, I don't know, I just feel like there's a lot of people that struggle in these days.
Yeah.
It's like they almost feel like they're just going to get help come to them. And I get quite frustrated with it, and almost had well, I did have a disagreement with someone the other day about it close to me. But I get frustrated with it because I understand, because I've been there so many times, how we are in control of whether you've got anxiety for something or a bit of depression, you feel shit, you've been eating crap. Like, you're in control of this and you can change it, and only you. Like, get off
100%.
Walk, go for a
walk.
But
it's not for you to be, you know, you can tell that person, but it's for them to decide when it's time and when they're ready, you know. Yeah. And unfortunately, you know, some people don't get the opportunity to reach that time, which is fucking heartbreaking. And, you know, we're talking about suicide and stuff. And,
yeah,
you know, I've had a lot of friends over the years get to that point, you know, which is mad, because it's a man thing to do, not talk about this shit, isn't it? But if they just on gone, just another day,
Well, I did that for so long as well. I didn't speak to anybody, and I've spent many times younger days sat there thinking, "This is it for me. Like I can't go anywhere. What can I? I've got nothing good going for me. I'm not going anywhere in life. Like, it's so miserable, and I can't change it, and I'm so hard done by. You know, all that kind of stuff."
I've had full depression once in my life, and it was when I was trying to buy a house, you know, and I didn't know it was depression. It might not even be depression. It might not even be depression, but that's what it seemed like. It seemed like nothing happened when I was trying to buy the house until 4 o'clock on a Friday, right? So every fucking week I was just dreading Friday. I'd get the call from the mortgage advisor who probably did fuck all week and then just went, fuck, I've not done anything. It's Friday. I better get this shit in. Right? Made my life a misery. But from the time I started the application for the mortgage to getting in the house was about, I think it was like March, middle of March to September, right? And so I was working like 7 till 12 or 7 till 1. Then I was going home and then I was back at 4 till 7 with clients. Like I was fucking doing 10, 11-hour days, right? And what used to happen, I'd go home, have some lunch, and, you know, tidy the house up or whatever, and then get ready to go back to work, really, or train. But after a month or two of this, I was going home and I was getting in bed at 1 o'clock and I was going to sleep till like 3:30 and then driving back to work. And I did that for like, I did it for like 4 months or something, you know. And I didn't even realize I was doing it. I think I just felt tired, and only when we got the house and I got the keys to the house. See this big breath now. Just the massive relief from this. I was fucking exhausted from the relief from the whole thing, but the week after, I had purpose, I had drive, I had all this shit I needed to sort out in the house. Now I came home, didn't even think about it, and it was only about a week or two later, I was like, fucking, I don't go to sleep anymore in the afternoon. I never even thought about it, and I called it the fog. Like, it would just fucking descend like that, slowly. And then you were just in it without even knowing you were in it, because I was still going to work, still doing all my stuff, still like speaking to people like I normally do, and seeming upbeat and all that, but just going home and sleeping all day. And, you know, weird.
It's crazy.
And then it just goes like that.
Yeah.
And lifts, and it's not even a thing anymore. Maybe even visualizing it helps, you know, maybe even giving it a picture, you know, and being able to look at it for what it is, but you have to come out the other side of it before, and some people don't, you know.
It's crazy you just said that, because that is something that I suffer with, and it's something that it's one of my triggers that I know when I'm feeling low. Hence why I've started back at the gym on a new training, lifting weights, which I've not done since I was early 20s, younger. But yeah, if I get rained off from work, or I'd come home from work early, just feeling crap, cloudy, foggy, and I'd just go and mask it by going hiding in my bed and go to sleep. I did it a couple of weeks ago, and I just did it for 2-3 days in a row, and literally, I thought I need to pull my head out.
Yeah.
That's one of the triggers that I know when I'm slipping. Like
so know thyself, right? You know now. Like, and you can pull yourself on it, you know. And if only people did a bit more work on themselves internally and stuff, maybe they would see it as well, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe they would see what triggers them and when it creeps in, because it creeps in. You know.
There is definitely something there. There is something that has a hold over us, whether it be the thoughts or other energy or whatever it is. We all certainly have something, and it takes us to be strong-minded and with a good positive thought process to get out of that.
Yeah.
It's kind of, you can fight a battle with yourself for days and weeks, but as long as you know you keep doing that, and to understand yourself, your thought processes, and these triggers. If you can understand all that, then you can implement strategies to, you know, get away from and feel better.
Or even tell someone that this happens, and that person will be like, yo, it's been 2 days now, it's happening. Yeah, you're right, all right, get up then and fucking do something about it,
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, man.
Definitely. I think we should call it at that. My battery's just got a 20% warning.
Lovely. I'll go and get my tuna pasta bake now.
Fantastic. You're taking dog for a nice stroll?
Yeah, I will do. Definitely.
It's been a pleasure, mate, and
Yeah, nice one, dude.
we'll have it again sometime.
Definitely. And next time, hopefully in the studio. And let me know if you saved this, and maybe I can share it on mine or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so what I'll do is I will screen record it and I'll send it you.
All right, pal. Nice one.
Lovely to see you, mate. Thank you.
Peace. See you, pal.
Bye-bye.
Bye.